Great day, Royals. I am EmpressLazuli. You are your empire, and welcome to another week of aligning with the cosmos. We are going to dive into all of the major transits for this week, and then we'll also touch on what all the other luminaries and planets are doing as well for this week in the energy. First thing I must say, Mars is going retrograde in the sign of Leo on December 6th, which is this Friday. And so we might really feel like we are a bit delayed in terms of where we want to be in our life. It may just kind of suddenly come onto us with Mars going into retrograde. That drive, that assertion, that passion that we typically have, that aggression that we have for life is really pinpointing on, it's been pinpointing on ourselves with it being in Leo, our creative energy and what we want to do to feel confident in ourselves each day. But now that Mars is going retrograde in the sign of Leo, it's bringing us into like where we feel delayed in our actions towards ourselves. So how do you feel you're delayed in terms of where you want to be in your life specifically? That energy is going to come up starting on Friday, December 6th, because Mars is stationing retrograde. So we need to be understanding of the fact that this could be putting a lot more time and effort on how you individually want to express yourself in the world, right? Being able to really say, this is what I want to focus and put my time and energy into, and that's what I'm going to do. At the same time, while Mars is stationing retrograde in the sign of Leo, it's very imperative that we have outlets for our effort and our time and into moving our body. That's what I really want to say. Putting effort and time into moving our body, specifically with Mars going into Leo, specifically stationing retrograde. This is the energy of you potentially getting so upset that you are not where you feel you want to be right at this moment, that you take out on someone else because there's so much aggression, so much drive that's kind of being delayed. You know, it's kind of like when you leave the lid on something that's steaming, you know, it's going to potentially burn or harm, or just, you know, it's not a good situation to be in, especially when others are involved. And so in order to keep that heat from being pent up and having a good use for your fire and allowing the fire to go to good use. That's what I wrote. Allowing your fire to go to good use for yourself and others by moving your body, by being more physical, by saying, I'm going to take up some boxing classes, or sad season, I'm going to do some lower body workouts, some full body, some running, things that are going to activate your hips and your thighs, specifically with us being in Sagittarius. But Leo is the kidneys also. So like I said, running, just doing things that will help your body to move to where you'll need to hydrate yourself, that can really just assist us right now in allowing our fire to work for us now that Mars is going to be stationing retrograde in Leo. I also put lock in and prove it to yourself. Lock in and prove it to yourself that you are worth everything that you deserve and everything that you think you are worth. If you believe that about yourself, if you are daring enough to have the pride and confidence to say, this is who I am, having that strength and courage to stick beside yourself, then make sure that you're doing everything that you possibly can to revise where you might need to put more time and effort in order to see that for yourself. So Mars going retrograde does kind of feel a little bit more delayed in our ability to see the results of our energy and time and effort. But we also need to know that it is delayed intentionally for us to be able to take another moment to process things and see how we could maybe put our time and effort to better use for ourselves individually. Tempers do come up, fire energy, aggression. So with Mars being retrograde in Leo, take time to take more of the personal standpoint in situations where you might feel you're getting hot-headed. If someone's doing something to upset you or aggravate you or make you feel that fire on the inside, instead of aiming it towards they are doing this, that's making me do this. No, why am I allowing myself to get upset by this person's actions? Why am I getting upset? Why do I feel triggered? Why do I feel this sensation all of a sudden dealing with this human being? What is that about? Getting to the root of that, getting to the source, the heat source of that will help. So lock in, prove it to yourself in terms of what you're doing to really forward and progress yourself. That is on Friday, December 6th. And we also have on Saturday, December 7th, two major transits happening. The first one is Venus is entering Aquarius. So Venus has been in Capricorn and now Venus is entering Aquarius. And so with Venus going into the energy of Aquarius, this is more about how you can share your creativity with humanity. Getting pleasure from being able to see a beautiful world aesthetically for humanity. So how can you share information that will help humans to pursue deeper connection to themselves so that we can have a healthier collective? Because every person bringing that really great connection to higher self will allow us to all have a higher vibration and resonance in terms of the collective and how we deal with each other. Because of us having an increased amount of self-awareness, we can deal with people in a higher aspect from a higher frequency. So this is what Venus in Aquarius is saying, because we all want to see more pleasure in the world. We all want to see the world as a more beautiful place. So we have to contribute to the world becoming a more beautiful place to us aesthetically and how we contribute to it, right? This is an earthly experience that we want to be more pleasurable to us all. So Venus entering Aquarius, and Venus while it is in Aquarius will really bring more of a humanitarian beauty to our thought process. How can I make the world a more beautiful place? How can I contribute to helping other people want to have a better connection with themselves so they're showing up with humanity in the collective at a higher frequency? What information can I share to help us to do that and to raise the vibration? That is the focus with Venus entering Aquarius. And I really love that, especially from us being in Capricorn, really taking pleasure from focusing on those deep emotions. Capricorn is the deepest of sign. So focusing on where our emotions come from, what habits help to feed our emotions, what we really take pleasure from in terms of providing for ourselves, allowing ourselves to feel very secure and rooted most of the time throughout our life, based on the things that we're consistent with, based on the things we're disciplined with, finding pleasure in the pursuit of consistency, in the pursuit of commitment for the right reasons. So for longevity as well. So coming from that energy into Aquarius, now how can I bring my puzzle piece to help the collective puzzle just vibrate higher? Love that. And so that's happening again on Saturday, December 7th. In addition to Venus entering Aquarius, we also have Neptune stationing direct in the sign of Pisces. And Neptune as a planet is a ruler of Pisces energy. It's a modern ruler of Pisces energy. And so we're looking forward to a slight lift to our ability to over fantasize about certain things. I think with Neptune retrograde, I've even noticed with myself, like I just daydream a bit more. When I start to think about my dreams or visualize things, it tends to go down that rabbit hole into Alice in Wonderland a lot easier. Sometimes you have to really fight to stay in conversation sometimes, because people will say things that then send you off into thinking about certain other things, and it just connects in a weird, uncanny, psychic way to where you might not really pay attention anymore to the rest of what someone else is saying, because they said one thing that caused you to go off in your mind or in your emotions somewhere else. So look forward to a slight lift to those habits, and if you've been doing that, and also not feeling as tired. So we may not feel as tired now that Neptune is stationing direct in Pisces and not being retrograde. We'll begin to see a bit more of the usually hidden aspects of fantasy and entertainment. So that includes Hollywood and also our own dreams. Reveal certain things in more realistic ways that kind of make them more of a focal point. So seeing examples of our fantasies, or seeing resonance or synchronicities within our realistic lives to confirm that what we're thinking, what we're fantasizing about, what we are dreaming about is not unachievable or unattainable. And so it makes it more of a focal point right now. Okay, well, now that I'm seeing all these synchronicities, how can I now see more of them? How can I now allow that to take up more of my day, 11/11, as we're coming into winter season? What can I dream or visualize on a more consistent basis to see more synchronicities? How have you been distracting yourself as well from worldly realities that you deal with and you're not vocal about? So what kind of vices do you potentially have in place right now that distract you from harsher, more emotionally brutal experiences that you have right now that you're having to go through, whether it's something in your daily routine, your weekly routine that you have to incorporate that doesn't make you feel the best? What vices do you have in place as coping mechanisms? That will bring up those topics as well now that Neptune is going direct in the sign of Pisces. Okay, now that is all happening. Neptune going direct in Pisces and Venus entering Aquarius is happening on Saturday, December 7th. And then on Sunday, December 8th, we have the second quarter moon in Pisces. So we are literally experiencing a new moon in Sagittarius by the end of the previous week on the 1st of December. And then literally ending this week, we're headed into this second quarter moon, which the moon is in Pisces when that second quarter moon is about. So that's a really signifying a time for us to work. Closing out the week on December 8th on Sunday, it's like really solidifying that emotional connection to, it is time for me to work. It's time for me to get things done. I need to go through that external and internal glow up. How do I need to work on myself subconsciously and my emotions to deal with things and stop having so many coping mechanisms for things and using that as an excuse to why I then blame others for making me feel a certain way. Mars retrograde in Leo. How can I be more contributive to the humanitarian experience of us all being able to see the world as a more beautiful place due to an individual contribution that I am sharing with the collective, with Venus entering Aries and now leaving Capricorn? So really great week for us to get that internal and external glow up going for ourselves. The sun is still in Sagittarius this week, so we're still focusing on expanding ourselves, being more flexible. Sagittarius is a mutable sign, and just doing it, getting things done, striking while the iron is hot, as you would say. So really as you think about things, as you getting ideas, as you come across certain opportunities that could allow you to further yourself, right, and blow up and become bigger and expand, like I said before, and grow. Really be okay with going for it. If it's resonating with you on an energetic scale, then definitely make sure that you are giving it some of your attention and being open to opportunities to really help you to grow and glow up right now, because the sun is in Sag. It's wanting us to burn the heat, strike while the iron's hot, really use that fire, because when we head into winter season, this was the last fire, the strongest fire that we're going to experience before going into winter. So that energy is supposed to last us all throughout the winter until we get to Aries Aries, the next fire sign, realistically, and when you look at it energetically in the line of the zodiac in astrology. So really look at how you can maximize this energy, this last spot of fire that we're getting before we get into the winter season, so that you're setting yourself up like these squirrels out here to have enough nuts and be able to have enough energy to get yourself through it comfortably. We also have the moon that has moved from Sagittarius all the way to Pisces by the end of the week, like I said, with the second quarter happening on Sunday in the sign of Pisces with the moon. But in the beginning of the week, we just come out of the new moon in Sagittarius from Sunday, the 1st of December. So we start this new week with the moon being in the energy of Sagittarius still. We're still very much looking at, okay, how do I need to explore and expand myself and be open to opportunities that I know I need to revisit, to work on, and plant new seeds of intention towards anything that I may have revised, because Mercury went retrograde last week, literally in the beginning of the week. So we have the moon starting off in that energy, starting us off in that energy of, okay, let's go, let's get it. Let's go after those things that we've revised and seen that we need to just have a fresh exertion of energy and time and effort towards. Let's go towards that. Then the moon goes into Capricorn. So do you maybe need to invest in those things that you're moving forward in? How do you need to involve more of your physicality into those experiences to really climb and really get the ball rolling, to really get things accomplished and start seeing some progress in it? What can you actively do and incorporate in order to be more consistent in terms of how you, what time of the day you're doing these things and these new things you're incorporating, what time of week you're doing it, whether weekends or during the week is a better time, what time of day is it better for you to wake up early, or is it better for you to be able to in the evening do something? So really taking a look at how you need to strategize towards these new things you're wanting to be more consistent with. Then we have the moon going into Aquarius by the middle towards the end of the week now, as we come into, like I said, the Mars retrograde transit, Venus entering Aqua, and Neptune going direct in Pisces for the end of the week. Moon is now coming into Aqua by like Wednesday, Thursday. So now we're experiencing how we can move our emotional gaze to the humanitarian. How are we giving? Yes, we know we need to focus on things. Yes, we need to iron out how we're more consistent and disciplined towards it. How can we now show up for the collective with it? What does that mean we need to do socially? Do we need to go to more events? Do we need to show up online more and increase our online presence? Do we need to create social media accounts? Do we want to start a podcast? Do we want to join a group and be more vocal there to get more experience? How are you wanting to share of your voice and communicate with others in a way that will be long term, for one, because none of these things that we should be working on are for the short-sighted. These are all long-term goals. How can I stay rooted in my why long enough to keep working through it even though I don't get recognized for it? Really respecting your uniqueness right now. And by the end of the week, it's time to do it. It's time to go towards the external and the internal glow up. You see exactly what you need to do with yourself. If you need any extra support, talk to your ancestors, talk to your higher self, talk to your spirit guides right now. Speak with the universe, make an agreement with the universe to say, hey, I have these fantasies, I have these dreams, I have these things that I want to bring about. I need your assistance. I need you to support me with this. I need you to help me to receive downloads and things that I need to do and stay consistent with. And I promise that I'm going to reduce my coping mechanisms or entirely get rid of them in order for me to advance forward, because I believe in myself. I have faith in myself. I know that I can grow. I know that I am meant to be heard across the world, or people are meant to be touched and inspired by my words and my messages. So I can't stop, won't stop. This is not for me. It's not just about me. It's about humanity. It's about the collective, right? So that's where the moon is taking us emotionally this week. Mercury is retrograde in Sag, as I said, from I believe the 25th last week. So now this is thinking a little bit longer on those things. Like I said, taking more time to do more of those things that you feel that nudge emotionally and passionately towards right now, those creative pursuits, those little ideas that you're receiving, those things that you've been wanting to do for a long time that you haven't really put real time and effort and power, mental power, physical power towards. So what are those things with Mercury being retrograde right now? How can you put more mental power towards it to really organize it and get it together? And who do you potentially need to communicate with as well in order to help it to grow, right? Just about planning stages right now, but also what actions from people that have been down that road or have reached a higher point of success than you in that industry, how can you learn from them right now? How can they teach you things right now? Even with content they have up, just from you seeing how they've posted and interacted with the communities that they've built, look at those things and learn from them at this time. We also have, like I said, Venus going from Cap to Aqua this week. Mars is retrograde in Leo, like I said, happening on the 6th. We have Jupiter that's retrograde in Gemini right now. So also a little bit of a delay to like our ability to fully see the picture. You know how you feel you want to communicate and you know what you want to put across, but there's not a big full connection and reveal in terms of like how that's translating on the other side. So like, I know I want to talk with this in this manner, but how are people receiving of that? There might be a delay in how you can see that opposite end of things. And so don't beat yourself up about that. Don't allow that to be a driving force to you doing or not doing something. Just know that there might be a delay to that process, but still keep communicating, still keep talking, still keep asking questions, still be willing to be a student. Keep willing to show up for yourself and learn and share messages that you feel are important and that will attract the right people to you at this time. Saturn is in Pisces, so again we are seeing that there is more consistency and discipline that needs to be put towards those fantasies and dreams that we have. For anyone that has been working towards your dreams and your goals, you are starting to see a payout for that. You are starting to see rewards from that. Saturn is issuing a level up for those people that have put themselves out of their comfort zone for the sake of utilizing their time in the best way, shape, and form. We have Uranus that's retrograde in Taurus right now. So right now we still are in the middle stages of that revolution within how we want to deal with commerciality. You're seeing influencers be able to get paid promotion and they don't have that many followers. They don't have a huge community yet. So I think we're still very much finding our feet in terms of what communities and what markets we are best served on. It's still about trying to figure out where's the best market for my gifts, finding the best market for your gifts. There's still time to figure that out. It might feel a little bit delayed because Uranus is retrograde right now. But like I said, as long as you're in pursuit of what ideas you're getting, where you're feeling nudges emotionally, follow the feeling, even though you don't know the full story, you can't see the full picture, because there is a revolution happening in your ability to see what market you will belong in and where you do belong. Get your feet wet, you know, try new things, be open to new experiences, obviously with the most intelligence to support you, but be direct, be fixed in the way that you're pursuing this or attempting to figure this out. Find the answer to what market you best serve. Neptune is retrograde in the beginning of the week, but like I said, it goes direct in Pisces. And then we have Pluto that is in Aquarius right now. So we're still seeing rebirth, transformation, the beginnings of it, because Pluto's still in the very beginning degrees of Aquarius at the moment. So still being able to now see forward progression with the rebirth and transformation. It's just the beginning, so there's going to be so much more to come into how the messages, where they come from, the transformation of telecommunication, of the way that we receive messages, from who we're receiving messages from. Because remember, Pluto is a very small planet, and they would say a dwarf planet, and they even said it's not even a planet anymore. But Pluto was still able to get on the map of the solar system, even though it was so questionable, even though it was so small. It was still very mighty, and it was still able to push a message through, and it's still able to affect us in a deep subconscious way, even though it's so small and so far away from us at the outer ends of the solar system, still making an impact. So that should be synonymous to the transformation that you are able to make and have on the collective, and how you as one person could really affect the entire world if you have the right message. And so get clarity on that message for yourself. Be willing to go through the rebirth and the transformation necessary in order for you to even align with that energy of yourself, and to even be able to tap in and become aware. Because how many times do you go around places and you don't see certain places until that one time when someone, and then you're like, what, that store's always been there? I've never seen them before. I'd never seen that place before. You had to align. Your energy, your frequency had to align. So focus on your frequency, aligning it, and watch the transformations that take place in your life. So this week, very much a week to work on ourselves, especially what is going on the inside. It might feel very much like slow motion, or like time is moving a bit slower this week. We have 5 planets in retrograde by the end of this week. So be patient with yourself, be patient with other people before you're willing to, with Mars retrograde in Leo, take out your spark and your fire on other people. Be more understanding of yourself and ask yourself why you're feeling that energy all of a sudden stir up in you due to your interaction. So I love you all so much. Have a great week. Continue to align with the cosmos and build your empire. And I will see you all soon. Love you. Bye.